We are going to change this scope out. I'm going to show you how easy it is to change this UV scope out, which is a little bit smaller of a scope housing, which is going to help us gain more yards on our sight tapes. We have a UV3 scope that we're going to put on here. Arrows in the air forever. Dude, this thing is just piling them in there. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this cap. And then we're going to remove this whole scope housing, but to do that, we need to remove both of the caps here. Maybe both. No, we could probably get to that one just by, yeah, we can do that. So just remove the front cap, get the correct Allen pack. Break it free. Undo the one bolt that is holding this together. I'm not sure if I need that or not, but put this cap back in there. Let's open this package. There it is, the new SE. This is a 2-pin. It has the little deal in here, but you can see the size difference on these two things, right? So this is going to give me a lot more aero clearance versus this one. It's just going to tighten a lot of that up, give me more vertical so I can get out there and reach out and poke whatever really I want to at this yardage. We're going to go ahead and pop the front cap out. Use the same bolt, same hardware that came off of it. Tighten this guy up. Put the cartridge back in. Snug it down. And dude, that couldn't be any simpler to swap that housing out on the UV slider. So that's sick. That's going to give us a lot more aero clearance. We're going to be able to go down a lot further on our sight tape. We can go, I mean, we can almost bottom this sight out. Currently, this will have me going out into the mid 120s, but this arrow is a lot faster with this bow, the 75-pound bow. So the sight tape's going to change, but I wouldn't be surprised if I could get to the mid to high 120s, maybe 130 with this setup, shooting the bottom pin with this really fast light arrow I got right now that I'm going to Mountain Archery Fest with. All right, so we got our tape line for 20. We're going to aim at the bottom of the tape line because it is some thick tape. And we just want them straight across. This is the easiest way to get your 20. I'm not so concerned about left and right now. I'm not worried about shooting a dot. I just want all 5 of them in a line across the bottom. We set 20 pretty close in the shop. So this should be relatively close. It shouldn't be too far off. Left and right might be a little off. It is pulling them a little further left than I think. That one I just pushed up a little bit. This tape doesn't want to stick. I do feel like I'm very high anchor in the face, and that's because shooting a single pin or a 2-pin housing with a vertical pin like this, when I dial down to like 60, 70, 80, that's where I want to be the most comfortable, because those are the shots that, you know, if you're a little bit off, it's going to make a big difference downrange. 20 yards, if I'm a little high in the face or I'm not exactly in the right spot, as long as everything's lined up, it should hit. So I'm not so concerned. I want 20 to be right, but I'm not so concerned that my anchor feels perfect at 20, because a lot of these, you know, Mountain Archery Fest, Total Archery Challenge, a lot of these mountain archery 3D courses, you're looking at shooting longer ranges. That's why you're going to do them, because they're fun, especially the courses that I'm going to shoot. It's, you know, out to or past 100 yards. So I want to be really comfortable in the bottom half of my sight tape, because those are the ones that make the biggest difference long range. Not so much 20, but I do want to be right at 20. Yee. All right, let's go check these out. Show you what I'm talking about. All right, here's my 20 yards. I was aiming bottom of the tape line, so we're bottom. That one I know I dropped a little bit. This one I meant to aim over here, and then we have it. So we have 4 straight across the line. I am very happy with that. That is going to be good. So now we're gonna start to stretch it out. I'll probably move this setup tape so it's correct at 20, and then I can kind of guess, like I know the sight tape, I have it on my, that's from my other ethos, with is the same arrows, but it's 75 pounds or 70 pounds. This one's 76 pounds. I should be roughly close. So if I can go to like 60 and shoot 57 yards from my old sight tape, I should be pretty close, and that'll be a good starting point. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna get the little square we got, our aiming square. This little guy fell off the target. Just stick this on. Now the sun's out, which is awesome. Haven't seen that in a couple days. So that is gonna be the square we're gonna aim at. I've listened to a lot of podcasts and a lot of professional archers talk, like Kyle Douglas, Tim Gillingham, some buddies around here. And they all say that it's a little easier to aim on the square than it is a circle when you're sighting in. Because if you're just getting them all in there, that's kind of what matters. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna aim at the square. 60 yards. Like I said, we just moved our sight tape to 10. The sight tape I had for my other ethos, which was 70 pounds, was 13. Same arrows, same draw length, 60.2, close enough. See where we're at. We got our trusty square down there. Cut out a piece of cardboard. Let's turn this on. Little windy. Little left. Wind's blowing that way too, so I do have some tree cover down the left side, so it is blocking some of this wind. Not right where I'm standing, but in general. The peep height at 60 yards feels money. Feels like my target bow at 20, which is perfect. It's super comfortable. See how that stretches out once we start getting past 100. A little low, so I don't know, let's go look at them. All right, here we are, 60 yards. These were our last 2, so our left adjustment brought those 2 back to center. These were the first 3, which were a little low. This one was down there with it, and I knew I kind of flung that one a little high, so let's shoot this again at 60. I think that we're gonna be okay with that. Yeah, just left of the square. A little low. It's really gusty now. Oh, that was a premature shot. So pretty good group here at 60 yards. I had one that flew out the top that I knew. Everything's been a little bit left, but the way the wind's been blowing, it's blowing across the target like this. And I think what I'm doing is I'm holding the bow into the wind. So when the shot breaks, I have too much English and I'm really pulling them to the left. But this 4 arrow group at 60 yards, I'm really happy with this. I had this one flyer, I knew, but I'm really happy with this at 60. I'll probably just, I already put 2 more clicks in it, but I think what I'm gonna do is I think the sight scale is correct. So I think it's gonna be sight tape number 10 on the UV sight tapes. Gonna go out to, I'm gonna put one on, go out to 100, throw one. I mean, why the hell not? I really want to do one of those sight tapes with like the lab radar or the Garmin Zero C1 Pro, I think it's what it's called. It's the new Garmin Chrono, the little tiny guy. But you know, those things cost money. So if you guys want to subscribe to the channel, like this video, that does a lot to help support me and help support buying things, so that way I can continue to make content for this channel. So if you want to see me make a sight tape with one of those lab radars or the new Garmin C1X0, whatever it's called, please subscribe to the channel, like this video. All right, back in here, let's grab sight tapes. We need number 10 for righties, so that is not it. We need that guy right there, which should looks like it get us out to 131 yards if we have adequate clearance. So let's go ahead, pull that off, slap that one on. Peel this old one off because we might need to use it again. I should probably have UV send me some more sight tapes so I don't continually have to try and stick them on and off. But if I get the lab radar or the Garmin, we will make our own on precision cut and go from there. Try not to stretch it out, because if you are putting vinyl on, vinyl does stretch, so you want to make sure when you put it on, it's nice and relaxed. You don't stretch it, or else you're going to have problems. We're going to use our yellow indicator, our middle indicator, our fixed pin. So we're going to put this one at 60, and that should get us where we want to be. Before we go all the way out, let's 85 it. Oh boy, a little high. That one felt really good, and I think it's still high. So we're just on the wrong number here. 80. Let's cut 5 yards off it, because I am a couple inches high. I'm about 8 inches high. Okay, 5 yards is a little too much. Put 2 yards back in it. I pulled that one left. Okay, that one's good. Left and right is good. Broke really clean. And it is just a tick low. So we'll probably go to 83. So we can make a rough guess. We're going to take our sight tape, 85 or 83. Yeah, so it's probably sight tape number 8 is what we need, because that'll put me at 83. Sight tape number 4 puts me at 84. Let's go 9. Let's go one whole sight tape. No, we were pretty high. Let's go 2. Let's just go to 8. We can always put 9 on if that doesn't work. Sure, you guys are by now like, how the hell does he not know how to set a sight tape? But it's all trial and error for me, buddy. Let's try this again. 85 yards. That's it. That's the right sight tape. All right, here's our group at 85 yards. These ones really tight. This one's touching the cardboard, that one's in the cardboard. So I'm not disappointed. I'm really happy with these 3. This one I knew I pulled a little bit left, and this one I probably compensated and pushed it a little bit right. But overall, that's a really good group at 85 yards. So I'm pretty happy with that. Like I said, I just want them all to touch here. So let's pull these out. Let's step back at 100 and see where we're at. All right, I figure if I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it big. I know I have the sight tape clearance for this. I think this is 120. It's 120. So we can use our bottom pin, and I have, dude, I could probably clear 120. I can clear 120 on my top pin with this setup. 75-pound ethos. I have these Victory Rip TKOs. They're a little lighter than the Ultras. That's why I'm shooting them right now, just so I can get maximum speed out of this thing as possible. But this is 120 yards, top pin, single pin. Let's go, let's drop some dimes. Arrows in the air forever. Left and right is perfect. It's just a little high of the square. Might be a little high as well. Dude, this thing is just piling them in there. Oh, kind of creeped off the back wall a little bit. These things are probably shooting 300 feet a second for sure. Not bad. This thing's probably off by a yard, a half a yard. Let's shoot that again. All right, here's this 120 yard group. This is the one that went off prematurely, but these other four right up here, like I said, this could be just a half a yard on the sight tape. Again, that's why it's so important to get your sight tapes correct. But I'm gonna go back and we're gonna shoot this again. I'm gonna cut a half of a yard off of it at 120 and see where we end up. Might be a little left. Dude, this thing is money right now. This Elite Ethos, it's a sick color. And this is our group at 120 yards, our last one. We cut a half of a yard off of the sight tape and we moved them all down here. Both of these I knew when they broke. This one I thought actually broke the cleanest, but it just broke a little high. This one I knew I pulled it left, but these three at 120, I am really, really happy with it. Can't wait to get this thing out to Mountain Archery Fest next week and then to Total Archery Challenge later this year. But if you guys want to see those videos, hit that subscribe button down below, like this video, and we'll catch you on the next one.